This is our story.
The Black church has sustained the African American people from the days of slavery to this day.
I don't know how we could have survived as a people without it.
The role of music in the Black church is everything.
We had to have some individual and institutional armor in order to preserve our sanity.
We are a testament to the goodness and the grace of God.
The Black Church.
Stacy, good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you? Afternoon, good morning. I don't even know what day it is.
Well, yeah, me either. I'm in Las Vegas, so it's about, it's noon. No, it's 10:13. Yeah, it's a.m.
How are you?
I am doing good. Thank you so much for joining me today to talk about the Black church. This is our story. This is our song. You know, I'm from a Protestant family. Both my grandmothers had their own churches, you know, Assembly of God. So I've been singing that song all morning. That's one of my favorite hymns. And when I was a little kid, Pastor Stewart, but when he got to the chorus, this is our story, he'd get up on his toes, you know, and sing that. What a remarkable series this is. You know, I'm always eager to learn about the Black experience, especially from master storyteller Henry Louis Gates Jr. I mean, I am such a fan of his. He makes history come alive. He really does. Mm-hmm. And when I took my first trip to Haiti, I did some charity work there after the earthquake. We went to a church service that first Sunday. It is exactly the same design as the photo behind me that's in your first episode. It's almost like it's like a theater in the round. So when I saw this first episode, I went, that is the exact same design that I saw in Port-au-Prince.
Wow. See, we don't fall far from the tree. So there you go. Nor does the architecture.
You know, this series stirred up so many memories for me. But the Black church has always been the epicenter of Black culture and community, hasn't it?
It has. I mean, if you look at the series starts back in, before 1619, essentially, where we just introduced the idea that when enslaved Africans were brought here, they knew God, they worship God in different ways and different forms. And then as we continue to see the evolution of the church, I mean, it was the epicenter, it was the place of agency. We preached there, we learned how to read there, we sang there. And it wasn't always the physical structure of the church. You have the hush harbors where it's taking place in nature. So politics also was a really key part of the Black church. Where else can you gather people to talk about your concerns and your issues, your hopes, your dreams? And it's also a stage, a natural stage fitting for performers to learn how to, oratate, or even to sing.
And the rich historical data in this series is astounding, tracing the roots back to colonial times. And I love the statement that slaves weren't void of culture. They brought it with them.
Oh, exactly. I mean, if you really look at just the elements of call and response, that was brought with them. If you look at music, that was brought with them. So many elements of just what we see in today's culture of the church and just way that we worship stemmed from things that we've learned, certain clues and certain things that were shared and passed down, traditions.
And specifically, the role of music in the church is featured in your series. As my grandmother would sing, we're going to have all day sing and dinner on the ground. So
I love that.
Yeah, and it's just the music in this is just phenomenal. So I was wondering if that was one of your favorite parts in researching and directing this series is the music.
Oh, it was. We had, we called her Archive Rena, and she is an archival, I'm going to call her historian, but she does music supervision, and she worked closely with our music team to really find some incredible songs. And also, too, we worked with, I'm drawing a blank on it right now, but Dalton, is Robert Darden, there we go, who's based in Texas, Dallas, right outside Dallas, who has an incredible university where he's at collection of just songs. So really, I mean, it was like if we had just the budget, we had a huge budget, it'd probably been a huge musical, historical musical on the Black church on just the different forms and ways. But it was a lot of fun and just such a lesson for all of us.
And as a film critic, the series started making me think about what represented Black church and Black culture in cinema. I was thinking of the Blues Brothers, Old Landmark, with is that scene where everyone was singing, and also like Sullivan's Travels. I just all of a sudden my mind started thinking, what has the Black church been represented in cinema over the last 120 years? So that might be something I might pursue. Maybe you can work with me on that, huh?
Hey, let me know. Totally interested.
You're educational scholars in this. And listen to this who's who: Jennifer Hudson, Oprah, Reverend Al, Dr. Cornel West, who I'm a big fan of, all his books. Met him at LAX one time. We were passing by. I just love him to death. And also John Legend is executive producer. So what an amazing roster of talent you had for this experience.
Yes, and that didn't even tip the scale. I mean, there are so many people, African Americans, that have a history with the Black church. And, you know, just getting those individuals was a lot, you know, trying to schedule everybody because everyone's busy. I mean, this is obviously all before COVID. So we're zipping people from one place, we're going one place to another to meet these individuals. So it is a who's who of the Black church and Black church experience.
And finally today, Stacey, what has this journey meant to you in producing this series and directing the series?
It's been a privilege. It's been a wonderful experience. I'm from Ohio, and as my sister would say, Cleveland, Ohio, not from the state of Ohio, but from Cleveland, Ohio. But my grandparents in Zanesville, Ohio, were really instrumental in getting me an idea and the experience of the Black church. I grew up in a predominantly white church right outside Cleveland and Shaker. But being able to just really reflect on those moments of those 2-hour services, that hot church, the place where everybody knew your name, where you just had to focus. You couldn't get distracted or be distracted when the preacher was preaching. Really just warmed my heart. And to be able to do a series that just calls upon those memories has been just a delight and a blessing.
Now, I'm only one episode in, so I'm gonna binge watch it this weekend. But I was thinking, you know, probably the greatest moment in Black church history had to be President Obama when he sang "Amazing Grace," wouldn't you think? That was a showstopper, huh?
that was a beautiful moment, and then how it, you know, it's unfortunate why he's singing it, but it just it's a reminder of just the impact of music and song, and how it soothes the soul, and how it has soothed hundreds and millions of souls that have gone through the Black church.
What a wonderful series. Thank you so much for your dedication. Tell Henry I said hi. Hope to meet him someday because I'm a big fan.
And I will.
Thanks for talking to me today and good luck with the series.
Thanks so much, Jeffrey. It was a pleasure.